You've accepted this fight now, but in the previous years, you said it doesn't interest you because you have nothing to gain and everything to lose. If he were to beat you, how damaging would that be to the Canelo brand?
He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me. I'm telling you right
You
now.
can see it, but
it's gonna be
difficult. You take it to your
I'm
home.
taking them. And ain't nothing you gonna be able to do about it come fight night.
I know Turkey is in your corner,
I promise you.
but look, it's gonna be very difficult. He's gonna be so mad that day. Believe me.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm different.
I see you too.
You see I'm different than all the other ones.
No, I see you. No, you don't know different. You're nothing different.
I'm different.
Nothing different.
I'm different.
We'll see.
You gonna see it.
We'll
You
see.
know it.
We'll see.
We gonna see it.
Canelo and Crawford recently got into a fight at a press meeting that was shown on Netflix. Both fighters looked focused and ready to fight. This fight feels more and more like a personal matter. Even before the press conference, Crawford made it clear that this was not simply another fight for him. It was a war with a purpose.
You know, it's gonna be a tough challenge on both sides. You know, he's gonna have some challenges. I'm gonna have some challenges. That's what great fights is about. You know, who overcome them challenges and who capitalize on the other fighter mistakes, and who got the best game plan. You know, who can adapt. So I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna be prepared, and I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to it.
He talked calmly and sternly about what makes a good fight different from a famous one. He didn't just hype up the fight, he looked at it like a strategist, focusing on the mental and physical war that lay ahead. Crawford knew there was danger everywhere, but he made one thing clear: he is coming fully prepared. He has no excuses or shortcuts, just a plan to beat and outfight them. The look in his eyes shows that he is completely focused and that he is on fire inside. As the talk about the fight and Crawford's confidence spread, a longtime broadcaster named Jim Gray stepped in to break it down with brutal honesty and sharp analysis.
It's a great fighter. Terence Crawford, you know, everybody says perhaps the pound-for-pound guy. I mean, we can have these mythical lists and you can pick 3 or 4 of them, but he would be on somebody's list probably at the top.
Right.
And Canelo is getting a little bit older, so but Canelo weighs a lot more, and Canelo fights more often, and so I think it's an intriguing matchup, and against Terence Crawford, moving up in weight, who you know, like I say, you know, that young man's been a monster. Okay, going up against the great Canelo, so it's going to be fun. It's at Allegiant Stadium. I mean, there's an opportunity for, you know, 55, 60,000 fans to come in there. That's great. It's great for boxing. It's what everybody wants to see.
Gray did not hold back when comparing the two giants. He praised Crawford's domination in the ring while emphasizing Canelo's stature, experience, and frequency of fights. Besides being exciting, he said the match was also shocking because 60,000 people are going to watch it live. This is more than just a pound-for-pound fight for Gray. It's a reputation fight on the biggest stage possible. And just when you thought the excitement couldn't go any higher, Jim Gray ignited the atmosphere again, this time shining a spotlight on Canelo with passionate praise.
And Canelo himself.
Yeah, you got Canelo in the row.
So putting the Canelo in the Hall of Excellence potential bias aside, and you know, I'm kidding. But
No bias. He's the greatest fighter on the planet. What's the bias? He belongs with the greats, okay? Greatest Mexican fighter. He's the greatest pound-for-pound fighter for a long time. This guy's just a proven tremendous boxer and talent. So yes, no, there's no bias. I do love him personally. I love the way he fought. I love the way he conducts and carries himself.
Gray did more than just compliment Canelo's skills. He also hailed his legacy, referring to him as the greatest Mexican fighter and pound-for-pound king. Gray made it clear that this isn't just a fight over weight classes or titles, it's about greatness versus greatness. He praised Canelo's discipline, character, and fighting spirit with the enthusiasm of a fan who has watched a legend emerge in real time. There was respect, emotion, and the chance that this bout would be Canelo's defining moment. No bias, just belief. But Gray wasn't finished. He returned the argument to raw power and danger, reminding everyone that this clash is much more than skill versus skill.
You know, it's so hard to tell, but the bigger man, I mean, I don't want to get hit by Canelo ever. And when you've weighed so much less, I mean, I don't know what Terrence will come into the ring, but you know, he's coming up in weight significantly, and, you know, that seems to me would favor Canelo.
He spelled forth the apparent, but terrible truth. Canelo strikes like a truck, and when one fighter goes up in weight by that much, it's more than just ability. It's about weathering the storm. Gray hinted to the real risk. Crawford is facing a heavier man's world where one punch may change everything, no matter how sharp Crawford's strategy is. Canelo's size and power might be the ultimate equalizer, which is what makes this fight so unpredictable. One misstep, and it could all be over. And just as it appeared that he was moving toward Canelo, Jin Gray backed off, dropping a dose of honesty that impacted harder than any blow.
By the other token, you know, Terrence Crawford's been amazing with everything that he's done. So I can't pick a winner. If I did that, I'd just run into the casino right now and bet and wouldn't even look at the fight and then just go cash my ticket. But I don't know. When you start predicting these things, nobody knows. And anybody who tells you they know, they're just BSing you.
He also gave Crawford his flowers, calling his run nothing short of incredible. But when it came time to pick a winner, Gray refused to take sides, not out of politeness, but because he knows this is a coin flip wrapped in fire. With both combatants at the pinnacle of their skills, he told spectators that predictions in a battle like this are meaningless. The truth is, no one knows how it will finish, which is exactly what makes it so exciting. When the argument looked to be evenly split, Shane Mosley stepped in and said nothing but the truth.
That was too big for Crawford. I think that was too big for Crawford. I think that the reason why, if Crawford was a mover like the rest of the fight, then maybe he can have a good chance with Canelo. But I think that being that Crawford is a fighter, that's gonna be a problem.
Mosley made it clear, size matters, and, in this case, it may be too much for Crawford to handle. He wasn't disputing Crawford's ability, but rather the style matchup. According to Mosley, Crawford's aggressive style may fail against a bigger, heavier Canelo. If Crawford does not move and tries to trade, he may end up in hot water. That isn't just an opinion. It's a warning from someone who has experienced what it's like inside the fire. Mosley didn't stop there. He gave a scary summary of what may go wrong for Crawford.
He wants to fight. He's gonna move a little bit, but his heart is not in moving. So he's gonna have to sit there and fight with Canelo. And if you sit there and fight with Canelo, and he's that much bigger than you, then I don't know.
He presented a picture of a fighter driven by heart rather than hesitation. Crawford may have the footwork, but Mosley feels his instincts will lead him into a toe-to-toe fight. And that's where danger lurks. Sitting in the pocket with a naturally greater Canelo is not only reckless, it might end Mosley's career. It is not about disrespect, it is about the truth of the ring. Size and power punish daring acts, and if Crawford stands and trades, the results might be devastating. Mosley then brought everything full circle, telling everyone exactly how far Crawford is pushing the envelope this time.
Everybody think, Crawford, he's a great boxer, he's this, he's that, which he is. He's a great fighter. And I think he's a great fighter at 140, 47. And he seems just to be, good at 54. And now we're going to 68.
He paid Crawford his respects, declaring him a brilliant fighter without hesitation. But the problem was not skill. It was weight. Dominance at 140 and 147 was clear. Mosley looked to be holding his own at 154 pounds, but moving up to 168 pounds to fight a beast like Canelo is a completely other ballgame. It's not about doubting Crawford's heart. It's about how far up the peak he can climb without slipping. And that's where the tension is. Mosley immediately turned gears, emphasizing how much Canelo has grown from his early days, especially after that memorable fight with Mayweather.
He's a veteran now. Come on, he's been in the ring with everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like from black heavyweight all the way down to 54.
He's a very nice person.
And he's a very nice person too. He actually trained my gym when he was getting ready to fight Mayweather.
Yeah.
He reflected on Canelo's progression through the divisions from light heavyweight to 154, meeting opponents from every weight class. This is not the same young lad who lost to Floyd. He is a seasoned, hardened fighter, Mosley praised. Canelo's work ethic, class, and his development into a complete boxer. The respect was clear, not only for the fighter, but for the guy. It was a gentle warning. Canelo's latest version is unique, crisper, and more deadly than ever. Just when the tide appeared to be shifting in Canelo's favor, Ennis stepped in, and what he said surprised everyone.
Don't believe me, but I'm leaning towards Terrence.
Oh, okay.
Remember this though, Terrence and Boots is almost like similar when it comes to that weight thing, right?
Yes.
Boots gets up big, but I seen Boots at a certain weight where he can handle them big guys and stopping them, be knocking them out in the sparring in the gym when he's up in weight. So I think that's a beautiful weight for Terrence, but that's going up to 168 though, right?
Yeah, 168.
Yeah, but I think he can handle it.
Ennis understood that most people would disagree with him, but he leans toward Crawford. He compared Crawford's situation to boxers like Boo, who had surprised critics by moving up in weight. He's seen firsthand how fighters can carry power and speed even when moving up to bigger divisions, and he feels Crawford has the same ability. He's not betting on hope, but on what he's witnessed behind closed doors in real sparring wars. Crawford may have proven the world wrong at 168 pounds, but he is far from done. He reinforced his belief in Crawford by emphasizing something many people overlook: his ring IQ.
The thing about Terrence, though, people don't understand. He can box and he's smart.
Yes.
He don't waste no punches, man. He don't waste no punches. And he really smart, man, when it comes to that boxing game. But it was me and I'm training him.
Yeah.
I would have him frustrating him.
He praised Crawford not only for his abilities, but also for his precision, the way he wastes nothing and makes every punch count. To Ennis, discipline and good shot selection are what separate exceptional fighters from the pack. If he were in Crawford's corner, he'd use his brains to frustrate Canelo, make him uncomfortable, and control the tempo. It is not about overwhelming, but about outthinking. In a race this close, having that mental edge might mean the difference between survival and startling the world. Ennis then went a step further, outlining a plan that, if executed well by Crawford, could penetrate Canelo's armor.
What I would do with him, I would hit him with some good shots, combination shots, because Canelo got to be set to throw punches.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I mean? If Crawford boxing move, he don't like nobody to boxing move, and that's what I think Crawford is going to do. And then this what I would tell him to do: we'll box him and hit him with good shots. You know what I mean? Set him up. Soon he get ready to get set, time up, walk him to the center.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Kill that clock.
Keep on doing it over and over, and then once you start doing that, right, they lose their cool. Then they open up for all kinds of shit.
He stated that Canelo must be planted in order to unleash those lethal power shots, which is exactly where Crawford can capitalize. The key is not just movement, but movement with meaning. Hit, move, tie him up, restart in the middle, and repeat. It's a strategy meant to frustrate. According to Ennis, Canelo can wear him down emotionally and compel him to make mistakes. When Canelo loses his flow, opportunities will develop, and Crawford will be able to fire counters that can change the tide. There's a chess match in the middle of a storm. As the argument heated on, Derrick James intervened with a keen analysis, breaking down the conflict like a true specialist.
Good fight. I think that it's a great challenge because I think both guys have great attributes, right? That they do, and I think they have great attributes. And I think that so you're looking to possibly see a great matchup, a great fight, and one that could be an intellectual fight from Crawford, smart, intelligent fight, and I think for Canelo probably has to be the matador in this one.
He has to be the what?
Matador, yeah.
Matador, yeah.
Yeah,
He called it what it is, a showdown between two skilled fighters with very different tools. For James, Crawford provides the intellect, time, and calculating. On the other hand, Canelo must become the matador, controlling space, cutting off the ring, and pushing Crawford into his power zone. It is more than simply a physical task, it is high-level mental warfare. James did not take sides, but his breakdown made one thing clear: whoever wins this will outthink the other. James then changed the script, telling Canelo that he must become the bull in order to survive what Crawford has in store for him. He highlighted the real danger. Crawford will most likely be the faster, more athletic man in the ring, putting Canelo in a situation where hesitation might cost him everything. James told Canelo that he needed to fight with more urgency and ferocity than ever. He must put pressure on Crawford from the start, disrupting his rhythm and never allowing him to become relaxed. Anything less, and the night may slip away. Derek, this is not about legacy, it is about high-level life. James kept peeling back the layers, this time focused on the one element that may change the entire struggle.
Been like this smaller guy generally faster than the bigger guy. Speed is going to be the thing that kind of controls this fight. Whether it's foot speed or hand speed. So I don't know what, I saw that fight or whatever, but I'm just saying that the faster you are, the smaller you are, the faster you are. That's why a little bitty guy can come to the gym and spar a big guy and beat him up. Yeah. Because the old bigger guy may have the skill set and technique, but he's just too slow. So it just depends on the speed is going to be the thing that kind of tells the difference about this fight, I believe.
He explained that speed, not size, might be the deciding factor when it's all said and done. Smaller fighters often had the edge in quickness, and in Crawford's case, that could mean controlling both distance and timing. James pointed out how even in sparring a fast, sharp little guy can frustrate and outwork a slower, bigger opponent. It's the difference in reaction time and agility that could dictate who takes control in a matchup. This close. Speed might quietly become the deadliest weapon in the ring. James didn't let up. He kept sharpening the focus on what could truly tilt the balance when needs to step into the ring. If Crawford still has his speed and his athleticism, be difficult for Canelo. His timing has to be on point. I'm not saying he can't do it, I'm just saying use his hand speed, athleticism, and Canelo has to be used his timing. His timing has to be impeccable, cause if not, he's going to be behind him all night long, meaning that he's going to miss him, he's going to slow. So just a thing. He pointed out that if Crawford still has his full speed and athleticism, a 168, it could spell serious trouble for Canelo. It won't just be about power anymore, it'll be about precision. James warned that Canelo's timing will need to be razor sharp, or he'll find himself swinging at air, chasing shadows all night in a fight where one clean shot can change everything. Being even a half second too slow could cost Canelo the edge. That speed difference may be minor, but in this fight, it may feel tremendous. Tinch joined the talk with a calm but confident response that softly shook the crowd.
He's in shape. He's always 100%.
But he's not hungry anymore?
I'm not sure. I think Crawford's got a lot more to prove. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Like to the body or something? Or
no, I just think his variety, his shots, the shots that you don't see coming, I think he can do damage.
He noticed that Canelo seemed to be in good form, but questioned whether the appetite is still there. In comparison, he thinks Crawford is going in with a lot to prove, which is a risky mindset. TU not only backed Crawford's will, but also his tools. He discussed Crawford's punches, the ones you don't expect and the ones that can cause real damage. It wasn't loud or spectacular, but the message was clear. If Canelo falls even for a second, Crawford has the means to strike him. Meanwhile, Coach Bullitt stepped in with great praise for Crawford and a quiet caution to Canelo that he should not ignore. He referred to Crawford as a ring magician, more experienced and calm than younger fighters with flair. But this was not simply hype, it was a tactical read. Bullitt pointed out that Canelo's movement and aggression aren't what they used to be, which is where Crawford may benefit at this time. It's not just about power or reputation, it's about timing, sharpness, and who still has the edge in motion. And Bullitt thinks Bud is the best person to show that. Coach Bullitt wasn't just complimenting Crawford. He was also laying out a survival plan and warning all in one statement.
I advise Bud to stand toe-to-toe with him. I would drag him into a boxing match and see his condition and his movement in the later rounds and try to win on points. Now, if you catch him, yeah, finish him. But I won't take that gamble unless I know it's what's up. But on the pound for pound, rules of the pound for pound at 168, we cannot take a Canelo at 168 lightly against Bud Crawford.
He told Crawford not to stand and trade with Canelo, but to lure him into deep waters with clever technical boxing. Bullitt thinks that taxing Canelo's stamina and movement in the latter rounds will show flaws, but he made it clear that now is not the time to play hero at 168. Canelo is a different animal, and pound for pound, he is not to be dismissed. Bullitt's message was clear. Choose your moments, fight wisely, and only go for the kill when it's truly necessary. The Canelo vs. Crawford bout is building up to be one of the most intriguing matches in recent boxing history. From the intense Netflix-streamed press conference in which both boxers looked sharp and focused to the barrage of predictions and warnings from legends, trainers and pundits, this fight has evolved into a conflict of legacies, styles, and periods, rather than a battle for belts alone. Crawford boasts the speed, intelligence, and hunger of a man seeking greatness. Canelo boasts the power, expertise, and proven fortitude of a champion who has dominated numerous classes. With experts divided, the suspense has hit a fever pitch. The question is not just who wins, but how. Will Crawford's smart counters and movements set the tempo, or will Canelo's pressure and power be too much for the smaller man? So what are your thoughts? Can Crawford truly bring his speed and precision to the 168 division? Will Canelo's expertise and strength beat the smaller man? Will this fight be remembered as a tactical 12-round war, or as a highlight reel finish? Could this be the bout that redefines what pound-for-pound greatness truly is? Share your views in the comments area below. Do you agree with the experts, or do you notice anything they don't? Subscribe to our channel and watch more movies like this.